Hi, I'm Bill Barr. I'm a retired firefighter. We moved up to northern British Columbia about 8 years ago and bought a large piece of property. Our property is about 375 acres. We've got 110 acres in production right now, with the possibility of at least another 60 that would be easily maintained and brought into production with the Virnig V70. All these trees on the property that are left were past logged maybe 10 or 15 years ago, so they're about 4 to 6 inches, which this piece of equipment loves to eat and destroy. So what I want to do with this piece of equipment is I want to be able to build these fields at my pace with the least amount of impact. So that means instead of bringing a bulldozer in, tearing up the land, making giant burn piles, having to burn them in the wintertime, we have to do all our burning in the wintertime due to the huge fire hazard in the summer. I can use this at a steady pace, mulch trees, put that vegetation back into the ground and do it in a timely manner. That is why I bought the Virnig V70. Virnig's V70 for me, and this is actually after talking to a logger of decades up here, he said, you know what, Bill, the fact that you're using this mulcher, you're leaving all that topsoil on the ground. You're not disturbing it like you would with a dozer, pushing trees over, making giant holes with the roots. The finished product, once I go over it once, it's done. I don't have to come back to it. I don't have to burn it. I don't have to deal with pollution. I don't have to deal with permits, possible forest fires. Once I go over it, it's done. What I find so great about the V70 is being able to mulch the 6 to 8 inches trees and getting rid of them, adding that fertilizer to the ground. And then what I do is I use the left side of the disc to cut down the bigger trees, 8 up to 16, 18 inches. And in this part of the world, logs that are bigger than 8 inches are worth money. So what I do is I lay those down, and then later on we'll come back and harvest that wood. And so what I'm left with is ground fertilizer from the mulch and money sitting on the ground from the trees. Yeah, the reason I bought the Virnig V70 Disc Mulcher after a lot of research is the build quality. What I put this thing through so far, look at the paint is still beautiful. The build quality, everything is so heavy duty. It's an amazing piece of equipment. I am running this thing to the max and it's not missing a step. It screams quality. And like the old adage is, buy cheap, buy twice. This is amazing, this thing. After using this, I am so glad I chose Virnig and the quality, because the recovery time, if the thing slows down, and it takes a lot to do it, is hardly much of anything. How it's revitalized this field alone is, if you could be in my house and look out at the river, it was obscured by a bunch of trees and brush and this and that. We went over it with the V70 and the V60, and as you can see in the pictures, it cleaned it up so beautifully, as good as it's ever been that I've ever seen. The only unsightly thing that I don't like is the traditional way of clearing land, and as you can see, the burn piles, and they're going to sit there either till this winter if they burn, or like the logger said, if they don't burn this winter because they're too wet, it'll be a 2-year wait for those things to be dry enough to burn. Yeah, the reason the Quadco disc is so important to me, because it seems like in my vast research with these mulchers, all the top end manufacturers use a Quadco disc. And it's so robust. It has the ability to have so many different combinations of teeth on it for your different applications. Like, we're a bit sandy here with a tiny bit of rock, so the good configuration for me would be carbides on the bottom, beaver teeth on the top, and as you can see in some of the videos, the beaver teeth on the top chew through the trees, either whether I'm cutting them down or mulching them. So you can see in this clip, I'm backdragging to get a finer finish. Initially, I was really undecided whether I wanted a drum mulcher or a disc mulcher. I went with the disc because of the speed. You can clear way more land quickly with a disc than you can a drum. But as you can see, if you backdrag over top of some of the sticks that you've left, you can get a finish that's comparable to a drum. I found the learning curve for the V70 pretty well what they said it would be online with YouTube, 4 to 6 hours. But I find 4 to 6 hours is great. You can sort of get the idea of it, but now after 10 or 12 hours, you get the little tricks and it's becoming more and more precise, faster, finer finish. At the beginning when I first started mulching, it would be easy to hit a tree, let's say on the left side, which is basically, let's call it the cutter side. The right side is the suction side. So what happened was I had a few trees that ended up on the ground. What I was able to do with the scoop on the right side is you can guide them into the disc and it'll mulch them every bit as quick as if they were standing. But as I use it more and more, I'm able to pick up a lot of the trees that I initially wouldn't have been able to pick up that ended up on the ground. The finished product's a lot cleaner now, and I find the whole overall job is going a lot quicker. I'm covering more ground, I'm clearing more acreage. So my plans for this equipment after I'm done with my place, beautifying it, making more farmland, is to go out and do some land clearing, some fire prevention around people's homes. I've already been approached by people wanting fence lines cleared, wanting some trails cleaned up. So in my area, there's no shortage, it seems, of people that want what this equipment, the V70 Mulcher and the V60 mower, can do.